Hello world, I'm Doris Hall James and welcome to the Indie Show. The Indie Show brings hidden treasures to life. And this evening my guest is Monnette Sudler. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
You're doing, and welcome to the Indie Show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, Monnette, it's indeed a pleasure to have you on the show and an honor to have you on the show. And I'm amazed at all your talents and all your gifts that you bring to us tonight. Because as I read your bio, I kept saying, oh. You're a vocalist, you're a composer, you're a guitarist, and you've done so many things. And I thank you tonight for coming on the show and sharing all those gifts with Facebook and the whole world tonight.
Oh,
yeah, thank you. Now tell me, how did all this begin?
I started playing guitar when I was a teenager.
All right.
Yes. I started, actually my first instrument was piano.
Okay.
Yeah, and I started that when I was 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And how long did you play piano?
Well, I played piano off and on.
You still play, don't you?
Yeah, I still do.
You still play, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So how did you fall in love with that guitar?
Well, I think my grandmother, she loved string music, and I used to, I was influenced by that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were some guys who used to come around, friends of my stepfather, that used to play guitar, and I would just be so fascinated with the music they were playing, and that I wanted to do it as well. Yeah.
Okay. And that's when you picked up the guitar and said, I'm going to learn to play.
Well, that's what I said, but then my mother had different...
Oh, Mom stepped in,
Yeah,
huh?
she stepped in.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize it then, but later on she said, I used to take the guitar and hide it in the closet so you wouldn't see it, because she didn't want me to become a rock and roller. And so my aunt, when I became a teenager, she sent me to this camp. It's part of the Methodist church. They had a camp, and at the camp they had a talent show, and like all these little girls was up there. They were playing their guitars, and I'm thinking, I have a guitar. I should be playing my guitar, And so I did. We did some cha-cha steps. That was our talent. Myself cha-cha. And one of my church members. So when I got home, I made it a point to try to play the guitar. My Aunt Marlene was working at the Wharton Center, which is 22nd and Columbia. She was the secretary there at the time.
Okay.
And she arranged for me to come there to take lessons. And so that's where I started.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, did you come from a musical family?
My mother was very musical. She was a vocalist. She mostly sang classical church music. And she also played the piano. My Uncle Nathan was a jazz pianist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Right.
He would come to the house, and I would sit on the floor and listen to him and just be amazed. He played by ear. He was just awesome, Yeah. So those were the two musical influences.
How about sisters and brothers? Were they involved in music at all?
I had 3 younger brothers. And no.
They weren't involved?
No. My brother next to me, Truman, he became a DJ, so that was the closest thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the closest
well,
thing.
he was playing good music, I'm sure.
He was. He was a music lover for sure.
But I was telling you that I was really shocked when I went down Center City, Philadelphia the other day, and I saw you down there playing. Right. Is that something that you do frequently, or that was just a one-time thing?
Oh, to play at the Dilworth Plaza?
Yes.
No, that was just a one-time thing.
A one-time thing?
Yes.
Okay.
They have lunchtime programming. I believe it ends at the end of the month.
Okay.
Yeah, and they might do it twice a week, I believe.
And it's different.
They use different
bands,
people.
there's
Yeah,
different people down there. Because that was fascinating too. It was so, it's it was seating down there, and it was free, and you
Right.
could just sit down and listen to good music.
Yeah, they have a nice cafe there.
Yeah, it was a
and,
cafe. Yeah.
and then they have the water that sprays up for the children, and
Hmm.
it's very nice the way they have it.
Well, I really enjoyed that because I had my little kids down there too, and I was listening to you guys play while they were playing in the water.
No,
So the water kept them busy.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's talk about the artistic director. Okay, you're the founder of the Philadelphia Guitar Summit.
Yes,
Is that correct?
that's correct.
Okay, could you explain that to us today?
Sure.
What it is, why did you, why was it created, and what is it doing now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, the Philadelphia Guitar Summit, I created it to show audiences and to introduce them to different styles of guitar music,
Okay.
different genres.
Mhm.
I've had classical guitarists, I've had jazz guitarists, I've had a harp ensemble,
Okay.
I've had
Okay.
African kora
Mhm.
instruments. So, and I've had 8-string guitarist, like a heavy metal
Mhm.
person.
Mhm.
So, and I've also featured bass guitar as well. So, just trying to show the diversity of guitar music. And it could have a lot to do with why my mother didn't want me to play the guitar because she
Yeah.
thought I'd become a rock and roller because she was
Yeah.
very limited in her
Mhm.
knowledge of the guitar.
Yeah.
And I heard Joe Beam, Antonio Carlos Joe Beam,
Okay.
was playing Brazilian guitars,
Mhm.
and he was playing on television one night, and I rushed to the TV. I'm like, "Come, you have to watch this man play the guitar." I'm like, these are some other things that the guitar can do,
Right.
and so she finally understood, kind of
Okay.
came around, and if people don't know, you just have to
Right.
you have to show them, introduce them to
Okay.
these things.
And through the summit, you have reached 10,000 people, and the summit has been going on for 10 years now. Has it been that long?
Yes,
About
it's
10
been
years.
that long. Yeah,
And through there, you do workshops,
workshops, concerts
concerts.
every year, and
Mhm.
and workshops and do video interviews, things like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is the summit something that we can join? Do we have to be a guitar player to join, or what
No,
is that?
no.
No.
You don't.
You don't join?
You don't have to join at this point. You don't
Okay.
have to join.
Okay.
And I invite all people to come because it's not just for guitar players; it's for everyone.
Mhm.
If you love music
Mhm.
and you want to be introduced to some different things,
Mhm.
different styles of music,
Mhm.
people maybe you've never heard,
Mhm.
or styles of music you maybe never listened to.
Mhm.
And so during the summit, I'll offer like different styles within the same concert. And even the performers, sometimes they'll say that they've never really been in a situation where, other genres have been presented at the same time. So they get a chance to interact
Yeah.
with other
Mhm.
artists of
Mhm.
different styles and things like that as well. So it works totally for everyone, performers and the audience alike.
Well, you know a lot of musicians here in our hometown. Do a lot of them, do they participate?
Absolutely.
They come? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I've made it a point to hire many of Philadelphia's
Okay.
finest
Good.
Yeah, yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I've met many in the past year, and they're always looking for different opportunities and to get into and different learning, and so that would be good for them. I'm
Right.
glad that they're participating and supporting you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Some of the people from Philadelphia, Jamal Dean Tacuma, bassist, Gerald Beasley.
Mm.
Let's see, who else? Cedric Napoleon, bassist.
Okay. Okay.
And many, many more,
Mhm.
you know. People, Mike Boone, I'm mentioning all bass players right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to congratulate you on that webpage.
Oh,
'Cause
thank you.
I love that webpage.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
bright and it seems like it's full of energy. There's
Yeah.
so much information on there.
Good,
I
good.
said, oh, she does this too, because I was looking things up on the net.
Uh-huh.
I said, oh, you do this too. So that's really fantastic that you can do that.
Yes.
Okay, now, I guess you already kind of mentioned the mission of the summit,
Mm-hmm.
and that's to get people involved,
Yes.
okay, and learn all the different things that the guitar could do, the bass can, and they can network and all that. So that's basically the mission of it.
Yeah, that's the mission, and ultimately, the mission is always like a learning process for because Pat Martino has also been a part of the summit actually twice, and he's done a workshop, and his workshop was excellent.
Okay.
Lionel Luecki also did a workshop.
Okay, so they come in and they can do workshops.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
I've done
okay.
workshops as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And funding permitted, I would do many more.
Funding, yeah.
So it's really all about the funding.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jamal Dean Tacuma, we did a workshop together actually. So I like to keep that type of thing going as well.
Okay. He was just here, wasn't he? Jamal, wasn't he just
Jamal Dean,
here? Yeah, wasn't he here?
just here where
Here, does he live
he
here?
lives in Philadelphia.
Because I saw something advertised. He was appearing somewhere, maybe about a month ago. But I didn't attend that. But and I didn't know whether he was from here or he's from New York. But he's from here.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we go on, and we want to talk about some of the greats that you played with.
Mm-hmm.
It was Hugh Masekela,
Yes.
and then I read it was Grover, the late Grover Washington.
Yes.
Tell us about the experiences with them.
Okay. Well, working with Hugh Masekela was a wonderful experience. I totally enjoyed that.
Okay.
He's such a showman.
Yeah.
He really gets involved. He's a great storyteller, and I really love that about him. It's funny. I was talking about him today because I went to the first rehearsal with him, and so he didn't hand down any sheet music or anything like that. They just kind of showed you what to do, what the music was about, which is all cool because when you learn that way, sometimes you retain it better because when you're looking at music, you depend on the music in front of you, and so So anyway, that's all good. But the thing was, I was staying with this trombone player, and so when I went back to her apartment, I was telling her about the rehearsal, and I said, and he didn't give out any sheet music, and so the next day when I went to the rehearsal, he pulled out this paper and he handed me this music, and he said, "I heard you said I didn't have any sheet music," and I was like, "Oh my God, no!"
Okay.
I just wanted to
But he gave
disappear.
you some sheet music, right?
Yeah, but he was just being smart.
I know.
But
Okay. Okay.
But it was just amazing. Ever since then, I've never talked about anybody. I mean, it wasn't a bad thing,
I know,
but
right.
but it's just like the next day, it was just like back in my face immediately.
Okay.
So
how did you enjoy working with him?
I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay.
I mean, I used to go hear him when they used to have those concerts. I forget what to call them, but my father-in-law, he used to. Well, it wasn't my father-in-law then. I was like in high school or something, and he used to take us to these concerts, and I loved Hugh Masekela's band.
Yeah.
You know, and at that time, I never even dreamed that I would be working with him.
Yes,
so I was, I was a happy woman.
And you never know what God has in store.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So you got a chance to work with him and Grover.
Yeah, and Grover as well. He's I've always loved his music, and so being able to work with him. We worked at the Blue Note for that was great. Yeah, it's great.
Now, when you work with both of them, what were some of the learnings, the things that you learned from them that you're using today? Is it anything?
Well, I learned about professionalism. They both gave their all when they were on the bandstand, and those things were very, very important. Their presentation. I learned a lot from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like Gilbert said to you, what did you teach them? Did you teach them anything? I'm sure you did.
Well, I can say that with some positivity that Grover enjoyed some of my music that he used to listen to as well. And so I appreciated that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a moment and let's say hi to our Facebook family and friends, okay?
Okay.
Hello, Dean Morrow. Dean has joined.
Hi, Dean.
Sandy Sykes, my sister, and this is the one who said, "Oh, where's she been?" So Sandy has joined. Hi, Nadine. Okay.
Oh, Nadine.
Nadine is
right.
on.
I know Nadine.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. What happened here? Chakatika? I can't pronounce it. But hello, how are you? Hi, Chastity. I was talking about you the other day. Thanks for joining in. Hi, Oscar Murphy. Hi. Benny Barksdale. Hello. And Jessica Stanley, my cousin. I want to thank all of you for joining in today to listen to Monnette Sudler and all the gifts she has contributed to this music world. We're going to continue our interview. Now, what are you doing now?
What am I doing now?
Yes.
Well, let's see.
Besides all the other stuff, what are you doing?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I finished up a CD with with my friend and she's a poet, Topita B. Mason, and so we have a CD called "This Is How We Get Through." And so that's the latest project.
Okay.
And
is this CD ready for purchase?
Yeah, and you can buy it on cdbaby.com.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. This is how we get through.
This is how we get through.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I've been working on my guitar. I call it Guitars Around the World.
Okay.
Which is actually going to be this coming Saturday at the Philadelphia Club of Jazz at Broad and Fitzwater Street. And that's an amazing concert, and will feature Cheryl Bailey and Paul Bolenbach.
Okay.
Yes. David Gibson, Tony Jones is the bassist from Philly.
Oh, yeah.
And guitarist Mark Whitfield. I have a sitarist, Sambarta, and tabla player as well.
Okay.
And I'll be playing, of course.
And that's this weekend at the Clef Club?
Yeah, yes.
This Saturday?
This Saturday night.
Saturday night. What time is that?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock at the Clef Club?
Yes.
Broad and Fitzwater?
Broad and Fitzwater,
Okay.
that's correct.
All right.
Yeah. So, all are welcome.
Mm-hmm.
The tickets are $20, which is very reasonable.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Now, how about this this award that you're being given on Friday? Tell us about that.
Yes, tomorrow morning I'll be getting the Honorable Lucy Blackwell Award. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Clap for that. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm very grateful, very honored
Okay.
to be receiving that. So that'll be tomorrow morning at City Hall.
Tell me about that award. Why was it given to you?
I guess they just.
Where'd you go here?
No, from what I was told, because of Mr. Blackwell's work in the community and the things that he used to do, they give the award to people that kind of move in that same way.
Okay, and that's tomorrow. That's Friday. Is that down City Hall?
City Hall. I think
City
it's room
Hall?
202.
202 at 9 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're not busy, Facebook fans and friends, or take time and go to City Hall tomorrow to join Monnette when she gets this award. It's at 9 o'clock, City Hall, room 202?
Yes, room
Okay.
202.
Okay. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel honored of getting that award?
I feel very honored.
Yeah.
It's always a blessing to be recognized, and I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, when we talked about, I talked to you about Temple University, because as I said to you, I wish I had gone to school for music, because
Right.
I've always wanted to do that. But I just got caught up in life, and I started doing so many things. And I said, nah, I can do this without going to school. And many people do. They do it without going to school. Did it make a difference to you? I mean, has it made a difference? Did it make things easier for you? Did it open doors for you that maybe wouldn't have opened if you didn't go to school? You went to Temple University, is that true?
I did, yes.
Okay. So what do you think? Did it? Did it not? Did you like it? Did you learn anything that you didn't know?
I learned a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. And knowledge is always helpful. You know what I mean? That's always an advantage.
Okay.
No matter how you come by it. But yes, going to Temple was beneficial in that way. So I had 3 different majors. I started out composition and arranging, and then I switched to music therapy, which is something I had wanted to do since I was just out of high school. And then I had to. One of the requirements was to intern for 2 years for no pay. And I was just not able to do that.
Of course, yeah.
Because I was raising my sons at the time. And just going to school and trying to work and raise my boys was difficult enough as it was. So working for no pay for 2 years was out of the question.
Yes.
So I switched over to performance in order to graduate and get my degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so now you're a vocalist too.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in being a vocalist, did you work behind people? Do you do solo? How does that work?
Solo.
You do solo?
Yeah.
Did you do any solo work on your new CD? This one you just...
Yes.
You did some solo work on it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Are you a songwriter?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So did you write the songs on your CD?
Always.
All right, then, because we need to know all that,
Yeah,
you know.
always.
So, in writing your songs, do you ever collaborate, or you write them just on your own? How does that work?
I mostly write on my own, but I have collaborated,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, it works well if you find somebody that you can collaborate with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it's so many gifts that that God has blessed you with, you know, and I'm just so glad that you share those gifts, because you're around sharing them everywhere you go. Even when I was downtown and you were down there sharing all the gifts that you have been blessed with all the many people around you.
Mm-hmm.
And when I said to my sons, hey, I know that lady.
Right.
And they said, oh, no, you don't, Mom. I said, yes, I do. And I said, and another thing, I know that lady over there, too.
Uh-huh.
So then they
Right.
were proud.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
and the conversation, I was sitting like in the back of you, and they were saying, isn't this great?
Mhm.
You know, people were just sitting around saying it's
Oh,
great.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's really good. So you
Well, also, I was playing bass on that.
you're playing bass,
program,
okay.
yeah.
So now, you have published a guide. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Guide. Okay, a workbook called, it's a Motif Mojo.
Motif Mojo.
Okay,
yeah.
tell us a little bit about that guide.
It's an improvisation guide.
Uh-huh.
To write, I've written several motifs and transposed them to the different keys. And so the student is to learn these motifs and then to be able to facilitate playing them in all the keys on the instrument.
Mm-hmm.
And then to write their own based on what they had just done. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you teach?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm just finishing up a 2-week camp at the Clef Club with the children. So I've been there all
you
day.
were talking about that.
But they did a concert today at Kappa this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and oh my God, they're just so good.
What ages are they?
Like middle school, high school age. Yeah.
How many kids were they? Or children, I
how
should
many
say.
are there? I say it's about 30, maybe.
Oh, it's a lot of them.
Yeah, because they did a big band. There was a big band today.
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing, really talented.
Well, they have an amazing teacher. You
Well,
know?
there's a lot of teachers
I know.
there, and we all they're so. I would say the Clef Club has a different style of teaching, and they have so many marvelous teachers. And so, like, one student, he could have, or she can have, like, maybe 3 teachers, like, at the same time, you know, showing them how to do what they need to do to be a better musician. And I don't know any school that does that in that way,
Mm-hmm.
that has that one-on-one intimacy with so many different
Mm-hmm.
instructors.
All right.
It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Well, let's go back and say hello. If I can get on here. There go Benny. Benny. See, where we stop? Benny. Oh, Benny Barksdale saying, Monnette, I would love to meet you. Okay. And Benny plays the sax.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he plays the sax.
Okay.
And then he says, Monnette, please join us some Wednesdays at the Crab Tavern.
Okay.
So every Wednesday they play there, and then they just bring people up, and they sing and
Really?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my brother has gone
Yeah.
there.
And they play. You can
He
play.
told me about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a nice place to go to. And then we have Willie Robinson. Hi, Willie. Thanks for joining in. And my all-time friend, Terry Price Grant. Hi,
Uh-huh.
Terry. And Terry says, always loved your music.
Oh, thank you,
Okay.
Terry.
Okay. So, on here, I see that it's something you received grants and awards from a Leeway Foundation. Could you
Yeah,
explain
leeway
that?
has been.
And tell us, how did you do that?
How did I do it?
Yeah. How did you receive those grants?
I applied for them.
Okay, because a lot of us don't know. So you applied for them from the Leeway Foundation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. And then what happened?
Well, they review your applications,
Uh-huh.
and then if you're chosen to receive it, that's a wonderful thing. So,
Okay.
So they've been very supportive over the years, and
Okay.
I've received several grants from them. Yeah,
So,
it's a great organization.
yeah, so musicians, if you're interested in receiving grants, it's the Leeway Foundation?
Yeah, it's not
apply.
only for musicians.
It's not only for musicians?
Not only for musicians. No.
Who is it? Explain it.
It's for all types of artists, photography,
Oh, okay.
video,
All right.
quilt making,
Okay.
just an array of things,
different
writing.
things.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they're just very
The
supportive.
Leeway Foundation.
And it's for women.
Oh, that's even better.
Yes.
That's even better. So
Right.
it's always, it excites me when it's something for just women,
Mm-hmm.
okay, to where we can apply. So that's really great. Now, anyone that's interested in following in your footsteps, what are some of your recommendations to them? I want to be a guitar player, or I want to be a musician. What would you tell me to do? I don't know anything about it.
Well, I would tell you to listen to as much music as you can. I would tell you to find a really good teacher, or to go to a really good school,
Okay.
and to be around positive people.
Yes.
That's the most important.
Yes.
And to study and really practice. And be
Okay.
the best that you can be.
Okay. Is it a particular kind of instrument I should buy as a beginner? Should
Well,
I spend a lot of money, or
I don't think you should spend a lot of money initially. Most people get an acoustic guitar first, and then maybe get an electric guitar later. Because if you get an electric guitar, then you have the expense of getting an amplifier as well. But they have packages that you can get for under $200 that you can get, like the electric guitar, the amplifier, and
Okay.
the little case for it and all. You know, they make a point to sell those type of packages for beginning students
Okay. All right.
at the music stores.
Well, you've done a lot of events. What were some of the events that you really enjoyed doing? Some of your favorites.
In terms of
Performing? The events that you did. Like, I know you work with Hugh Masekula, and you work with Grover, and I know you work with many, many more artists. Is that true?
yes,
Okay. And were those events, sometimes they have a favorite event that they did.
oh, I see.
Did you, or do you?
You know, I've been doing this so long. I have so many favorite events. So
Good.
it depends
Good.
on
good.
what era it was in.
Okay.
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
fair enough.
And so, yeah. So no, I can't really say anything.
Because all of them, you enjoy doing all of them.
Yeah, I just really enjoy playing music, and anytime I can play music and it's a positive situation,
Yes.
and the music is good,
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy today.
Yeah.
I was crying today because I was so happy. I'm so serious.
About the kids?
Because of
yes,
children.
Isn't that wonderful?
So I would say today
Mm-hmm.
was one of my happy moments.
Isn't that great?
Yes, it is.
Were there many pictures and all that taken? And is it somewhere we can go on the web page for the club and look at that?
Probably not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's
because we were all with our phones and one of the other teachers he was videotaping the whole thing, so I don't know what his looks like yet. But
is this a yearly event?
They have the camp every year. This is actually the first year I participated in the camp.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me go back to ask you about your CD.
Okay.
Okay. Is this the first one? Is
Of
this
what?
the first CD? Second CD? How many CDs have you had out? Uh-oh. You're getting ready to count, so it must
You
have been
didn't do
many.
your research.
No, I didn't do my research. I did not do so. You tell me. Tell me.
Well, I recorded for Steeplechase Records.
Oh, yes, I
early in
did.
the
I read
70s.
that. I read that. Yes, I did.
And then after that, I started producing my own
Oh,
CDs.
okay.
I also did one for Third Story. Well, they actually called it Hardly Records.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Other Side of the Gemini. And then, so I've done about 5 or 6 since then.
Oh, that's great. That's
that I
great.
produced myself.
That's great, because I did read something about that.
Mhm.
I did read something about that.
Yes.
And you are producing those CDs.
Yeah, and then I recorded for a French label called Heavenly Sweetness. Yeah. So I did 2 CDs for them. One was called Discograph, and then the other one was called Heavenly Sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Have you ever produced anyone else? Or it's just your
I have
CD?
not. No.
Are you thinking about it?
I've always thought about it, especially since I've done the guitar summits. You know, every year I'm excited about the people that have played, and so especially I wanted to do the Cora player because he was really good. And,
Okay. Okay.
But you know, it's all about finances. So yeah. So right now I was just trying to promote myself.
I understand
And
that.
yeah.
But you, yes.
May we help you promote yourself?
Uh-oh.
What's
does he
that
have
mean?
Now,
Uh-uh.
the CDs that you were just talking about,
Yes.
we have our own radio station, Philly Live Radio.
Okay.
And on Tuesdays, every Tuesday night, starting at 7 o'clock, we have a thing called TOP,
TOP.
Talents of Philadelphia.
Okay.
And we play artists from Philadelphia only.
Oh.
So,
there you go.
right.
So
I would love that.
You
of
would
course.
answer his question as a yes?
That would be a yes.
Okay, that's good.
Well, boy,
Yeah.
TNT gonna like that.
All right.
Okay, so when I look at, let's see, we go over everything. I want to make sure we did. Let's continue to talk. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that you did years ago when you first, the pros and cons, when you first started, okay? The pros and the cons that you ran across in the music industry when you first started. Okay?
Well, the other thing that I've been doing lately is I started with this band called Sounds of Liberation.
Okay.
Which Khan Jamal keyboards, on vibraphone, and Brian Lancaster, who later joined the group, alto saxophone, Dwight James drums, Billy Mills played bass at the time, and Omar Hill played percussion, and Rashid Salim. So that was like the first group I was actually in.
Okay.
And so I learned a lot from that group. And so recently there's this young man named Max from Brewery Town, records. He has a record store on Girard Avenue. He's taken an interest into to music from that era, and particularly Sounds of Liberation. So he released a unreleased recording that we had done at that time, and so we put that out, and we did a concert along with some Roz band at Union Transfer on Spring Garden Street, which was very, very successful, and it was a great night. That was another highlight. I have to say that was a good night. And so we're doing it again on Halloween, October 31st, the same venue. And this time, David Murray, saxophonist David Murray, will be joining the group. And so it's a resurgence of that music from that era, and it was really nice to revisit that, because I really did enjoy that music very much. Yes. And and Khan is not able to play with us anymore because he's ill. But I this wonderful young man from New York, Juan Diego, is like dynamic vibraphonist. He's really good. So, and so that's been good. Yeah. Working on that.
Well, as a female musician, because it's one thing I had put on when I advertised your picture, and I said female musicians are awesome too. Okay, and as you know, that's true. Okay, as a female musician, did you come across a lot of like different complications because you were a female guitarist, a bass player? How were you accepted with the males?
Well, I mean, in the group that I was playing in, I was accepted fine, like a sister, fellow band member. Right? And so that was good. That was awesome. Sometimes after concerts or things like that, people come up to you and they say things like, "Oh, you play good for a woman," or you... I mean, somebody said that to me the other day. I was just playing at Clark Park with Bobby Zanko, and this man he was really excited to meet me, and then he introduced me to his friend who also played guitar, right? And so he says, "Oh, you sound pretty good," and I was like, "Pretty good?" I'm like, I guess that means I had to work a little harder the next set, but I was really being smart. And then I was sitting with this man one time. I didn't know him, but we were at a funeral at the Clef Club. It was like a memorial service. And so we shared the table together. And I happened to mention that I was a guitarist. And he said, "Well, you don't look like a guitarist." And I was like... And I'm thinking, so what does a guitarist look like? What does that look like? Does that mean I don't look like it because I'm not a man? Or I didn't know how to take that. What did that mean? So, and then even recently, I was doing a gig in Washington, and I was playing behind a singer. It was a blues band. And so she's saying, "Oh, don't the boys sound really good? The boys sound really good, don't they?" And I'm thinking, now she knows I'm back here, right? And I'm thinking that, the whole time I ever went to school, and the teacher would always say, "You guys," and then he would look at me and say, "I mean you too." You know what I mean? And so I'm thinking, no, she's not doing this to me. And so when I got to do my solo, I'm like,
Showed off, right?
Yeah, I showed off.
Yeah, I know you showed off.
And then the sax player was coming in. I'm like, "I'm sorry, bro, you're going to have to wait because I'm going to finish this all right." But then I had to, I mentioned it to her later, and I said, and she said, what? She didn't really know what she had done,
so accustomed of saying it, that.
Yeah, and you know,
It's-
people
yeah.
just say it naturally, and
Mhm.
because they're not used to
Yeah.
having a woman in that space, and
Mhm.
so
It's like
you're not
you guys,
included.
You
Yeah,
guys.
you guys,
Yeah.
the boys,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
and so I'm constantly having to like say, yo, I'm here.
I'm back here. I'm playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and still to this day, and so, yeah. I don't know if it'll ever stop. The nice thing at the Clef Club, there's a lot of young women there playing drums and trumpets and saxophones
Yeah.
and
Nadine.
Yeah, Nadine.
Yeah, Nadine's down there. She on the sax.
yeah.
Yeah, Fambro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's good to see that.
Mhm.
And so when the teachers address the big band, they have to say ladies and gentlemen, or
Yeah.
to be all inclusive.
Well, one thing I was talking to some of the ladies about is just that is, Facebook is like worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So getting all the pieces together,
Mm-hmm.
female pieces, bringing them together and let them perform a couple songs, I think that will do many good, I interviewed 67 people, and that doesn't include like groups, okay? And out of the 67 people I may have had 5 women,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 5, 6,
Okay.
okay? And that was about it. And I know that there's more musicians out there than 5 or 6 females, okay?
Sure.
There's plenty more.
More now than ever.
Yeah.
Because there's so much information that is available to young people now.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were coming up, we were like begging people to give us information.
Mm-hmm.
But now they can go on YouTube. They have all kind of informational
Mhm.
videos,
Mhm.
all kinds of music they can listen
Mhm.
to. There's really no excuse for people not to excel if they really want to
Yeah.
musically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of these days, in the very near future, you'll get a call from me, and that's when I'm putting this Facebook video program together, so that I can show off the female musicians, because that's what I want to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trust
T
me.
Life
Yes.
just joined in, so he has
Yeah.
something. Okay, and he goes, okay, Terry, I have a Donald Williams. Hi, Donald. Haven't forgotten about you. I'm still waiting for those negatives to come in.
Lay
Hi,
down.
hi, Viola. That's my next door neighbor.
Uh,
And Sandy says, I always loved her
T
music,
Life.
and if I weren't going out of town Saturday, I would go to see her. Okay. And T joined in.
hey T.
Okay.
Mhm.
Beth Brandt said, play like a girl if you are Monnette Sudler. And
Hi,
she said
Beth.
hello. And Nadine said hello.
Okay.
Thanks for the shout out, cuz.
Beth Brandt and I did a project with Beth Brandt
Okay.
called Retro Love. It's
What
one
does
of her
Beth,
projects.
what does she play?
Beth is a poet.
Oh, a poet,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, you have a lot of supporters on Facebook, and
Yeah.
they're all rooting for you, and I know they're wondering and can't wait to go to get that CD. And you said it on CD Baby, right?
CD Baby, yes.
Okay. So,
Hmm.
okay, so now anything else you would like to say to the whole world tonight? I mean, this is your time.
Okay.
Okay.
I love you. I thank you for your support. I really do. And it means a lot to me. Totally. Yeah.
Are you going to be in it besides Friday and besides Saturday? Are you going to be any place else where they can see you, or can they go on your webpage and pull up your events where you're going to be performing?
Oh, absolutely. Everything's on my webpage.
And what is that?
MonnetteSudlerMusic.com.
Okay, repeat it again.
MonnetteSudlerMusic.com.
Okay.
That's MonnetteSudler Music.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that'll give them, show them where you're going to be for the next, month or so, or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you want to go there, and you can follow her through there, and then when you can get to her events, then you can join her. Okay. Is there anything else you want to say? We got about another 2 minutes. Let's take it.
Okay.
Okay, let's take it.
Well, if you want to come on out
Uh-huh.
on Saturday, if you can come, you won't be disappointed.
I know.
You will not be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
People that have come from New York and the Poconos and a lot of places outside of Philadelphia to come to the guitar summits. And this year is Guitars Around the World, and it's sponsored by the Philadelphia Clef Club.
Oh, that's who sponsors.
Yeah, this year, and so
Gotta get down there.
yeah, so I'm
Gotta
really
get down there.
happy
Mhm.
for the support this
Mhm.
year, and so everybody should really support all the programs at the Clef Club.
The club has.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's something I forgot about the Grammy. You were nominated for Grammy.
Yeah, that was for The Other Side of the Gemini. And Grover Washington was featured on the title cut, Other Side of the Gemini.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, it's my
Okay.
pleasure.
And I learned a lot. Okay, it has inspired me to take my music further, and I know it has inspired some of these people.
I want to shout out to my sons.
Oh, go ahead.
My shout out to my son Eric Honesty.
Okay,
and
Eric.
his company,
Okay.
Cultured Couture.
Okay.
And I want to shout out to my other son, Lamar Honesty.
Hi, Lamar. Okay.
And Lamar has Honesty Contracting.
Oh, okay.
So,
He's
yeah.
a contractor.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
So I'm shouting out to my sons because I'm very proud of them.
Yes, yes.
And they're doing their thing.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we've given hi Annabelle. Hi. That's Dean's wife. And Karen, hello, how are you? Thanks for joining in tonight. Thank you very much. So if anyone wants to reach Monnette, you can reach her once again before we go.
www.MonnetteSudlerMusic.com.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, Gilbert.
Music can be found on CD Baby.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yes, cdbaby.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say thank you to our Facebook family and friends tonight for joining in. Special thanks to Gilbert, the producer. I want to thank my sponsors, Mingle Event Studios, Simply Music Incorporated, and that's a 501c for kids. Okay.
Awesome.
And Philly Live Radio. I want you to check out and listen to Philly Live Radio. It's a 24/7. Okay. You have the Carlos Devon show. You have Let's Go Back. That's Carlos' show. You have Motown Monday. You have Johnny Walker, Women Who Jam. You have Dr. O, who writes our prescriptions. And you have DJ Boogie, and he just gives us the funk, and we just dance and dance. And then you have Shirley Lights coming on the
Nice.
26th of July. She would be coming on with
Right after DJ
something
Boogie.
Lights, Shirley Lights.
Oh, Light Up the Night.
Light Up the Nights with
That's
Shirley
right.
Lights.
All
Okay,
right.
so she will be coming on. And then on Sunday we have gospel music and jazz, and we have Jesus Justifies with Pastor William Brown. Is that correct, Gilbert?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to
Brought to you
thank
by
you
Terry.
from Terry Price Grant. Okay, all right, and I thank you. And we have a function coming up. We do live venues now and live events, and we have one coming up September 6th, Friday, September 6th at Mingo Event Center. and that's located at 1905 North 54th Street, Philadelphia 19131. And on that venue will be Winston Gay, Pamela Renee Smith, and Ernie B. and the New Blend.
Okay.
So we're looking forward for your participation. It's $20 on Eventbrite and $25 at the door. Okay, next week our guest will be the great George Buzzy. Okay, he will be here next week. And he and Alfie, they produced that Philly Beats.
Yeah.
And that was a great show.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
yeah.
Right?
I heard it was a turnout.
So you can follow me on Facebook, and you can like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check me out on Instagram, and check out my webpage. And I'm Doris Hall James, and I thank you for tuning in to the Indie Show tonight. Thank you.
Listen to the artists of today. Travel with them along their way through the Doris Hall James Indie Show. The Doris Hall James Indie Show.
Out.
Okay.
That was good, wasn't it?